okay, baby boy? Come here. Oh gosh, are you okay? Oh, he's hurt so bad. I can't take this.
Just a little snooze in the bathtub. Good job. Oh, yeah, try this one. Put a bit in water. Sometimes it's better when it's dipped. Oh. No, you're not ready. Come on. Open your mouth, please. Okay, no, sorry. No, hi, baby. I know. I need to help you.
Major updates yet. The blood tests are just going to be sent to another facility just to like double check and make sure everything. Because like he's got a lot of medications that he's on right now, and that just might overwhelm him. But yeah, stay tuned for more updates. We're gonna experience some chicken and rice for the first time. He is jumping for joy. Oh my god. He loves it. Good boy. Look what I've got. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't tell if you're in pain or if you're cold or you're just scared. Or if you're just shaking because you shake. Good boy. Oh, you got it. Good job. Good boy. Can you do it again? Nope, U-turn. He's turning into a little protector. Oh, he found his bark. I think he's doing it, is he?
No, he's not.
Guess what we just did? We peed outside.
Hello. Hi. Hi. Oh, missed you. I missed you too. Oh my god. Oh my.